Do you dream about launching your own business? Are you working hard in your career but don't feel you have the skills to reach the next level? Do you need something which works around your busy schedule? We're here to tell you that you can have it all. Find out more about the Roadmap Alternative MBA at www.roadmapmba.com, including free worldwide shipping and our 30-day full money-back guarantee. We care about equal access to education. We care about building a better world. Our mission is making business education accessible. Join us.
Hello and good morning. My name is Steve Pugh. It's 9:01 here in the UK. What I'm doing today, and you might have seen some of the kind of live streams and stuff we've kind of done in the past before, is basically I'm launching something which is the Roadmap version 2. This is something that I've worked on for months and months and months now behind the scenes. And basically I'm really excited to kind of tell you about it and share you basically the whole story about stuff that we've done, talk about some of the people that are on the course, share some of their stories, share some kind of new stuff as well, and then also share some of the kind of journey of the things that we've kind of done over the past kind of 9-10 months. That when I originally launched the Roadmap MBA back in February, was when it first kind of was public and it went to see other people, that kind of thing. Basically what I did is that I sent out packs that looked a little bit like this, which had a 216-page textbook in, and what it was and what it is in many ways was that it's ways that I believe it's real world business education using tips and tricks and all the best techniques from people around the world. But actually I believe that there is a way that you can do it better in terms of how you can combine the world's best techniques from sales, strategy, marketing and management, but really kind of make it accessible to people all around the world at a really kind of low price point, if not free, if you kind of apply for our guest list. But also the accessibility in terms of taking really complicated concepts and making it simple, and actually just trying to help make business education accessible to a lot more people, especially when I was going through my early career. Traditional MBAs and that kind of thing are fantastic, and you know, if you can afford to do one, definitely do it. But the truth is most people can't. Either it's too expensive, it takes too much time and you're required to take time off work, or it's just not really practical, or you don't like to learn from complicated textbooks. And there's 100 different reasons why you know, people do choose different types of business education. So what I wanted to do was distill it down into the most simple, best, most practical, easy to use format I could. And then I combine the kind of textbook with, we do 4 live classroom sessions a week where, which I'm going to show you the new setup and stuff now as well. But actually the whole point is that most people kind of have a general idea what to do in their business or career, but they just want that little bit of confidence just to be able to say, look, am I doing the right thing? How should I solve this? My business doesn't make any money. We're really quiet in winter. All of those kind of things that, because as a management consultant, I get paid sometimes by the hour to kind of make these changes. I kind of know what I'm doing. So what I wanted to do in the roadmap, and especially for Roadmap version 2, was to take all the learnings from everything we've done over the past kind of 9-10 months, all the feedback from the classroom sessions from different people who are around the world. And we've got 500 users, or over 500 users in 23 countries now. But actually, you know, there's different people with different backgrounds that just, I hadn't explained things perfectly. So what I've done is that this now with version 2 is the next iteration of what I'm kind of trying to do. People always say that with any kind of product you want to learn and iterate fast. So this is the first time after months of feedback and that kind of thing, I've been able to improve the brand, the content, the streams, the quality, the areas and you know, the ways that we broadcast. But actually there's some really kind of exciting stuff too, which I'm going to kind of help talk about. So today is just to kind of give you a guide on all like that kind of stuff. There's 3 films I'm going to show you. One you've just seen if you kind of joined the stream early, which is more of an international salesy type film. But the other 2 I'm really quite proud of. One is a lady called Katharine, and the other guy is a professional boxer called Maphosa. And what I wanted to do was help share their story in terms of what they do and what the course means to them. Because in essence, the whole point of the roadmap, it's got nothing to do with me in many ways. It's about helping you either reach your potential or grow your business or career or that kind of thing as well. And it's all about kind of you, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce you to the Katharine film first. I'm really proud of this. She's a wonderful lady with a great kind of business. And after that, I'm going to walk you through like the detail on the course and that kind of thing as well. So I'm just going to bring Katharine in, and I hope you enjoy it. But any comments, please leave them in the chat as well, and I'd love to kind of interact. There we go.
My name is Katharine Paterson. I have designed an innovative cot bed for babies, further to the problems that I experienced with my baby daughter in her traditional wooden bed cot. I'm a bit of an accidental entrepreneur in many respects. What I love about it is you never know what each day is going to bring. For me, it's that sense of opportunity and potential. It makes me feel immensely proud, actually, that I've done this. It's a sense of empowerment. It's a sense of look at what I've done and look what the potential is for this business and how it can help. My daughter was born in 2009. At about 6 months old, she started to bump herself on her cot. I did some research, tried to find out what alternatives there were, putting her in a travel cot, but they're not durable. I bought cot bumpers. As a mother, you do the most oddest things. I actually read the small print on the instructions and it said, do not use when your child can sit unaided because there's a danger of strangulation and suffocation. And I just thought that was utterly bonkers. That was my moment, and I got out a tea towel, some pencils, and I sat down that night and I made a model of what I wanted a cot bed to be. And I can remember sitting there, sewing it, thinking, what am I doing? If there is a eureka moment, that was the one. From there on in, I was on an absolute mission to get this out there and to find an alternative solution to what was on the market. Sometimes I've sat there at my desk and thought it'd be really good just to bounce this idea off somebody who's independent from me. Steve's got a really good business model. You've got multiple channels to access the support that he gives. What I absolutely love about it is it's something tailored for someone like me that doesn't require a massive amount of time, but where the resources are there to dip in when you need it. It just reinforces the learning and just motivates you to just to carry on and to think about things in a slightly different way. My first true sign of success will be that first order or sale of Karekot. That will be bells ringing, champagne corks popping. It will be amazing when that happens. Thereafter, more orders, more sales, more babies sleeping safely and soundly.
So there we go. That was one of the first films that we kind of commissioned that when, again, one of the things that I'm always very conscious of is that, so my job with the roadmap is to help teach you to grow your business or career. And one of the things that I'm always very conscious of is that likewise, you get a lot of people that kind of talk the talk, but don't actually do it themselves. So quite literally, you get to see the evolution of what I'm doing with my own business and how it kind of evolves and grows and that kind of thing as well. But then likewise, the theory and all the textbook tells you to celebrate your customers, share their journey and use that as a reflection on you. So the fact that I'm putting my own time and effort and money into all of these kind of things, the point is what I'm trying to do is almost just build credibility in what we do, but then likewise almost have the kind of social proof element of having someone else talk about the course and what it means to them, just as a way to help convince more people just about what we're trying to do here as well. So the next thing I'm going to do, so this is my main kind of interview setup. You've probably seen this before. From when I do podcast interviews. The podcasts are going to continue. If anything, I want to kind of do more of them. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time kind of building all of this, but actually we're starting to get to that point. But the other big change that I want to kind of walk you through today, I am going to walk you through the course just to give you kind of complete transparency on the new sections, how it's involved. I'm going to walk you through different bits and some of the changes, because actually there's so many details that most people might never pick up on, even to the point where the colour of that wall matches the inside colour, the sandy colour inside the textbook. And we've really tried to go to every single detail. But one of the big ones which I'm going to switch to if I press this button is the new kind of classroom session. So basically this is our new live classroom kind of setup. Yes, I'm still broadcasting. I was checking on my other feed, seems to have frozen, but you never know, it is what it is. And what I wanted to do with this is have a new setup which is more interactive. I can walk around, I can talk to people, I can do lots of kind of different things. But actually one of the big dreams for what we're trying to do here is actually to have multiple presenters. So actually with different microphones and different things, we could actually have two or three would be too much, but you could have two presenters presenting on a topic live and broadcast it around the world, which is quite cool. And then the other side to it as well is that, for instance, even on a practical point of view, every time I did my classroom sessions or a Thursday morning kind of thing, I was having to wheel a TV out And it was a lot of faff as where this is now a permanent setup that, yes, for version 2, this is kind of what we have, and we'll still draw out the concepts on the whiteboard and walk you through it. But it's trying to just give people a really good kind of user experience on what we're trying to do, why and how, and really trying to make it special so that people kind of hopefully understand at least that time and effort and money has kind of gone into what we're trying to do and that kind of thing as well. The other big thing, which is a big improvement on previous kind of stuff that I've done, is that I now can broadcast in more channels. So for instance, I historically would broadcast to my own LinkedIn Live, my own Twitter. Actually on Twitter, you could do the company Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and a few others. But actually now with a new setup I've got, should I interview a guest on a podcast, or if I have a guest presenter for the roadmap to talk about mental health or networking or whatever you kind of wish, we can now hopefully also broadcast all of their channels at the same time. So what we're trying to do here is actually create a scalable business model, which might be of interest, but actually it's how we can kind of grow these baby steps over time. This was something I just wanted to show you. Most of the stuff I'm going to do today is going to go from my kind of other main setup. But the other big thing which I'm going to touch on now is that I learn quite fast. But likewise, I used to learn in the classroom sessions that if I had some concepts or the textbook on the TV and we would, walk people through it, people couldn't always see it. So if you're watching this on your phone and you could be anywhere in the world trying to, get involved in the streams and that kind of thing, it's very hard to read the text off that TV. So I've got a whole new setup, which I'm going to jump back over here just to show you. But the point is, it's that level of detail that we've tried to go through to actually help educate and make the course a really good experience for people. That actually, this isn't just a rehash and rebrand. There's a lot of thought that's really kind of gone into it. But this is the classroom session, the classroom kind of setup, and it'll be a really kind of proud moment, I guess, when I have another guest presenter to talk about an area of kind of expertise. But then likewise, part of the ambition as well is to have people present in different languages. I admittedly only speak English, but the whole point is it's that kind of growth and stuff that I really kind of want to do over time. It's just the baby steps. And then not forgetting as well, I am only 9-10 months into actually the roadmap kind of journey, at least in terms of the public side to it as well. So I'm really kind of excited about how it might grow over time. So I'm going to jump back over here. There we go. So that's now a second classroom session. And then likewise, if anyone wants to have a comment in the comments, that should also pop up as well. I really wanted to kind of keep that as part of the interactivity in terms of the streams and what we're doing. And actually it's just, a really important part of the course and the engagement and what we're trying to do. All right, next I'm going to show you the Joe Maphosa film. Joe is, I class him as a friend now. He's a professional boxer, but also has ambitions to launch his own business and clothing line. So again, when you have a lot of the character traits and stuff that entrepreneurs and people in the careers often have to show, because it is difficult, there's a lot of stuff going on, I really kind of did handpick certain people that I wanted to kind of celebrate them and what they do in many ways. And Joe was the perfect person to kind of do that. So I'm going to show you his film, and then after we've done that, I'm going to walk you through some more stuff on the course. But if you've got any questions, please drop them in the chat and it should pop up on my screen and I will happily answer them as well.
My name is Joseph Maphosa and I'm a 27-year-old professional boxer. I think with professional boxing, you have to be very dedicated, you have to be very consistent. There's a lot of things that you have to sort of sacrifice. It's a really tough sport and I don't think people realise how much you have to sort of give away. The dream I'm chasing, definitely to be #1 in my weight category. We all aspire to reach the top of the game really, and there's no higher place than being world champion. I grew up in a small town in Zimbabwe. It wasn't a good way of life. My father decided to move the whole family over to the UK. We were so lucky and blessed to have the opportunity to change our lives. I was always involved in a lot of sport as a young kid. There was a boxercise class that used to take place and I decided to go down one time, and as soon as I put the gloves on and started hitting the bags, started hitting the mitts, I really enjoyed it. Even the coaches, they were really sort of amazed at how quick I was learning and picking things up. They recommended me to a registered amateur boxing club, and as soon as I went there, I never looked back. Family means everything to me. They're the ones that motivate me to keep going every single day, because I want to give them all the things that I necessarily never had as a kid. True happiness, that's the definition of success to me. Right now I'm thinking of going into clothing and just getting my name out there. When I'm training, I like materials that feel good on me. I thought it's a no-brainer, why don't I try something and put my own brand onto it? There's a lot of things that I can take away from my boxing career and use into business. Always being one step ahead, being hard-working, dedicated, and just being resilient. Owning a business has definitely taught me that just be patient. The more you put into it, the more you'll get back. You just have to keep going, and in the end, it will pay off.
Hi guys. So that's the Maphosa Roadmap MBA film. Really kind of super top guy, great family man, great sportsman, brilliant kind of boxer. But what I really love about what he does is it's his attitude to everything. He's super determined. He's got a fight coming up this Saturday. But the point is, you know, we all kind of go through that. A lot of the challenges that sports people actually have are similar to entrepreneurs. There's always challenges, there's always setbacks. And it's that kind of determination and resilience is super important, and kind of what we all try and do. That likewise, you know, either in your business or career, there's always things that we can maybe feel that they could do better or whatever, but actually I thought there was a lot of similarities there. So again, over the course of time, you'll see more and more films from different people who are on the course and kind of sharing their story as well. One of the big things that I kind of learned through doing version 1, and again, it's funny that when you make, my original batch was 500 copies, I think I got 550, and you send them around the world, and you kind of, I had a dream of really trying to create a really good user experience. So you might have spotted with this, although admittedly it's just me, I don't have a big team or a $1 billion marketing budget, but I was trying to look at what the best people in the world do, and is there something that I could potentially learn from, or that kind of thing, just to help me grow the business or career, that kind of thing. So one of the things, I'm a big Apple fanboy. I love phones and AirPods and the iMacs and that kind of thing as well. But they do really good launch events. So I wanted to, in some ways, copy that, and at least copy some of the elements of that I don't maybe have the charisma or money of Tim Cook or the big kind of slick marketing videos, but it's still something that I wanted to kind of do and actually get involved too. You know, I think this is a good way to hopefully launch a product and just raise awareness on what we're trying to do. And then thank you, I can see that the so I've seen the Twitch stream come in. I'm just going to do one thing. There we go. Good shot. Boop. I always have that balance, and I've said this before on the streams, is that there's always a gamble between when I do the live chat feed and interact with people. You never know what's going to come up, but I still wanted to include it. Luckily, I have the ability to turn it on and off as well. But even to some of the followers on Twitch, one of my kind of main aims is that you do have a lot of entrepreneurs who want to become pro gamers, or they want to launch their own business career, or whatever that kind of could be, that actually I still believe that the roadmap is a good kind of fit for that. But based on kind of copying what other companies do, so Apple, they do really good product launches, but they also do really good packaging, and it's the whole user experience that when you get a new phone or an iMac or whichever, it's a really nice kind of experience. So when I actually launched version 1, what I wanted to do is that, yes, you get the textbook, but actually it comes in a nice white box. You peel it open, and actually there's some, like, you know, goodies inside that you kind of go with it to go with the course and help you kind of walk you through. But one of the things that I kind of learned afterwards is that I wanted to create a really good user experience, but actually for most people, and this, you know, was 500 plus people, it's waste plastic, it's waste product, which then just goes into recycling, or I hope it goes into recycling. But the other thing that I also found, just kind of being honest about the journey, was that in order to ship it, especially internationally, I was having to put it into extra envelopes. I was actually using these, which is, it's a recycled eco envelope, but it's still plastic. And, you know, sustainability is really important to me, and likewise, I hate waste, and I was always looking at, are there ways I can do things better and I really improve the course. So for version 2, yes, we source all the print from sustainably managed forests and that kind of thing as well. But I'm replacing all of the use of plastics with these. I'm actually quite proud of these. So all big companies like Apple have their own branded sustainable envelopes. These are both functionally a lot better, so that's where the engineer in me kind of comes in. It's functionally stronger, it's more protection for the stuff inside. But actually, it's a lot more sustainable. We've removed all the use of kind of plastic and that kind of thing. And they're also cheaper, because actually what that means is that a huge part of the roadmap is about helping to access more people and actually helping give people more access to business education and stuff that otherwise wouldn't. And although we have a buy one gift one initiative, which is true, in practice it's probably get buy one gift 10. You know, I gift out hundreds of these to people around the world that I, that have a passion to develop and that kind of thing as well. So actually it was a no-brainer that the more I can reduce the unit cost, the better the product and service that I can give to people, but actually hope that they recognize some of the time and effort that kind of goes into this. And again, even on some of the branding, which I'll talk about, but I'm going to do a separate stream for that. You'll also notice the LED sign in the background. That again, a major part of my business is online and digital and streaming. That for the user experience, I just want you to know that a lot of time and effort and stuff has gone into the content, as well as the setup and the look and the feel and the sound, because in essence, that's what people pay for, and I just, wanted it to be a little bit special. But the other big thing, which is a change for me as a business kind of recently as well, is actually I'm now at the point with version 2 where I'm going to start to advertise. So advertising is a really big step for a lot of businesses, because in essence it's a punt in some ways, where you have to, and we teach it on the course, look at your target market. Who are they? Where are they based? What do they read? What do they interact with? And actually, are they your dream kind of target customer to help kind of grow your network and different things in different sectors with different people? And actually, I'm part of something called a marketing meetup, which a fantastic chap called Joe Glover kind of does. And it was, so every Tuesday morning there's a live webinar that they do, and I catch up on YouTube. And there was a lady called Sophie Cross who was talking about her and her partner had launched a Kickstarter to launch a new magazine for freelancers. They're now on edition 3. 4 comes out in kind of January, February time. And when I was kind of just listening to Sophie talk about her business, her journey, what she'd gone through, but also who it's aimed at. This is actually, I think this is issue 3, which came through the post recently. But basically, I'm now going to start advertising in Freelancer magazine. So I've now signed up to do issues 4, 5 and 6, which pretty much is a quarterly magazine, kind of takes it for most of kind of 2022. But the point is, in terms of a business, it's a really big jump for me to go from doing stuff like streaming and whichever to actually that next level of paid advertising. That actually it's a big jump, and I like to kind of share my story and that kind of as well. But I'm really excited to go on that journey, because again, I will share the content, I will talk to different people about what the journey is and what we're trying to do. And actually, if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll tell you as well. Because again, we're in essence kind of on this journey as well. And even if you're in a paid career with someone, often at some point, a lot of people who are involved with the roadmap do have ambitions to maybe do their own thing one day. So actually just a thought to kind of learn from someone else's experience will hopefully help you down the line. And that's kind of part of what we do. It is a community, admittedly a small one, but still a community about what we kind of do. Hi Denise, I'm just going to pop the chat back up because I think the Twitch guy talking about become famous, follow him, is now gone, which is cool. Basically the chat disappears after, I think it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So I'm always petrified if someone puts swear words or something. So luckily I can click it on. But no, Denise, thank you genuinely. And I was planning to do a thank you to some of the people that have really helped me so far as well. So Denise Nesbitt is one of our kind of super fans on the course, and she comes to a lot of the classroom sessions. And Denise's business, which I'll give it a plug as well, traditional UK-based engineering business, really good business, really good people, hit by COVID. A lot of the work dried up, and actually one of the things that we did with Denise was actually to really help. How do we help raise awareness of this business? How do we help drive new customers? How do we help the business survive in many ways? And Denise absolutely kind of nailed it. She went to the events, we went to stuff together, we joined the classroom sessions, she really embraced social media. But the point is, all the stuff that we actually kind of talk about, Denise just epitomizes. And actually, she's a great, I can't read what she said, likewise with Simon, but it's that ability to get involved and trying to make it real is really kind of important to me as well. So hi guys as well, hi Katharine. And Simon as well. So again, all of the kind of long-term kind of followers, and then likewise, I knew Simon and Katharine before I ever started to do this. But one of the big points is that it's trying to take real-world skills that people use to help grow companies, but apply it and make it accessible to other people without having to pay £200 an hour to kind of really kind of dive into that. But no, it's a great community, and on the kind of social proof point of view. One of the other changes that I admittedly done yesterday is on this setup where I kind of put the video in. I wanted to put in some of the main key messages. So you've got a CPD certified, we've got 4.6, I think, on Trustpilot. It's the four main kind of classroom sessions and the web address. But the point is, one of the things I realized was that for any business, but it's also true for my own, you kind of need the call to actions, you need your key messages, because although this stream has been going for 25 minutes now, some people will only dip in for like 5 seconds, if that. So as a business and almost as a learning to help other people, I had a call with someone yesterday who wanted to get into streaming. It's this kind of journey that the more I kind of learn, I will happily share that with other people. But one thing I'm going to jump onto now, which is interesting for anyone that's ever done a classroom session, I just need to click on this and then do this. Hopefully this is going to work. There we go. Is when I was mentioning before, even with best endeavors, with a big TV and a whiteboard to walk people through the concepts, it's very difficult to actually, for people to be able to read it. And that's, just inherent by design. If you have a smartphone and you're following a classroom session from your child's swimming lesson or whichever, you can't always read the stuff on the screen. So one of the things which, again, I kind of wanted to put in place for version 2 for the classroom sessions and stuff is that, yes, we'll still have the wide shot and do all the stuff we've always done. But now I have the ability to do this and actually kind of flick through the course. And you can see it, hopefully in fairly decent resolution, what we're trying to do, how, and I can talk you through it. But then also as a seamless kind of segue, I'm going to walk you through the course. And the reason I want to do this and walk you through version 2 of the kind of textbook is that actually it's to share the updates, it's to share the learning, but also the transparency is really important to me. That if you ever choose to commit your hard-earned money to help invest in yourself and really help grow your business career, I want you to know what's involved and what we're kind of doing, that there's no hidden agenda, there's nothing kind of, it's not crap content, it's all really good stuff that I'm quite proud of. But actually, I just want to share some of the updates and stuff that actually I think might be interesting to some people, because again, a lot of people who want to grow a scalable business and start to get into more stuff, you'll be able to see the learnings from version 1 to version 2 that hopefully might be quite interesting. I'm going to kind of talk you through. You probably will have seen the light beam concept. So you'll see it across the TV and on all the intros and stuff. When I worked with a company called Better, basically a really good company in Middlesbrough on the brand, because they're just really good at what they do. It's all about illuminating people's journey. It's about helping to open more doors, open your eyes to new concepts, new things that you might not have thought of before. But then light is a great way to kind of do that. But you'll see that kind of run through the course all the way. On the textbook, can you see my mouse? No, you can't. On the bottom left, you've basically got all my new terms and conditions. One of the things that I was looking at and we talk about in the course is risk. What are the risks to your business? What can kill you? And one of mine was the potential to get sued through talking about other people's concepts. So again, I got proper, legal advice, that kind of thing. But also one of the things that I'm also really proud of, I also applied for the registered trademark. So I now own the registered trademark for the R symbol for my logo and for Roadmap MBA. And that was a really big step, and it's all the different things, but I won't bore you with that. But the point is there's so much stuff that's happened behind the scenes that kind of work. On the look and feel, so the lady on the right, and actually a lot of the photography, all the photography in the book, all the photography on the course, but actually there was one flyer where I did use a stock image because I needed a different photo I couldn't get from anywhere else. Basically, it's actually a guy that I went to uni with, a guy called Jez, who took all these photos. Actually, he joined me in my first photography business kind of 10 years ago. Kind of got into it from then. But the point is, when I was talking about the detail and depth of everything we've gone through in the course, it's not just stock photography. It's actually someone that I've worked with and known for a long time that I really wanted to build in. And it's that kind of thing that part of what I'm doing here is because I'm really kind of passionate about it. But actually, I just really enjoy trying to create something special. But actually, yes, I'm trying to make business education accessible. You'll start to see some of the new changes which I've brought in. A lot of people in their business or career, want to kind of, understand what they're looking at. And again, we all go through this kind of career mountain where we start at the bottom, where we don't really know what we're doing. And then over time, you kind of layer up your different skills to basically grow and evolve as a person. So I wanted to visually show that. And the whole point with the roadmap is that we gradually help you walk through those kind of skills. I won't walk you through every page, but again, the whole point is meant to be a roadmap to help you grow your business or career. Again, photography from Jess, but again, when I was looking at my customer persona, Katharine and the guys talking, everyone who would be involved with the course are smart, intelligent people who are really busy doing their own lives. And so much of what we're trying to do is just give you the confidence to help take that next step. Yes, you can learn it from scratch, but actually it's a really important part to it. This is the same about what you want to achieve, although actually at the top, I think it was one of Katharine's questions, actually it was to do with making sure that people know not all the questions are applicable to everyone. So I kind of put the new bits at the top to say, look, this is aimed at business owners, this is aimed at career professionals, whatever. A lot of people want to start a business. And actually I remember doing this with Simon when he launched Shy Burns. There's 28 questions to walk through. Basically, if you ever want to start your own business, what should you ask? What do you want to run through? And actually, it's all to give you confidence. But again, if you're doing this for the first time, this is really kind of valuable. Next one, this is a new addition, and this is going to be a separate 2-hour session, which people can join. We'll do in the classroom, we'll do as a group. And it's called Ikigai. With Fina, if she ever catches up on this, who's one of the ladies that comes to the Tuesday night, 8 p.m. kind of session. And one of the things that's so important with your business or career is to actually do something that you love and you're passionate about. Because actually, if you can find something that you're really good at and you love to do. So I love being creative and using my brain. I love talking to people. I love tech. And actually with the Roadmap, rightly or wrongly, I've kind of built my own business. But what we're trying to look to do is that with Katharine or whoever, when you've got a product or a service that you're passionate about, it becomes your mission. And what I wanted to do was go through the exercise, which has been around, it's a Japanese concept for hundreds of years, but actually build it into the roadmap so that whatever we do, or for a lot of people that are potentially getting made redundant or, you know, are on a recent change, is to really help drive their kind of thought process and basically help give them a best possible chance to success. I mentioned about sustainability, so again, that's a really big thing. Module 1, I think is pretty much all the same, which walks you through what is it you're actually trying to do, what are your aims and goals, and we go on to talk about some of the stuff to do with lead actions and how to actually kind of put them in place. How to set business goals of stuff that you want to do. I do these exercises myself, and again, I'm already starting to plan for version 3, but the idea is I stress test this stuff all the way through, and the idea is to make it kind of easy for you. Module 2, it's skills that either investors, business partners, or customers or employers look for. Really important, you know, some things to consider to build into your brand. Likewise, loyalty is a new one, and this came from Ashley Wright in one of the classroom sessions from Western Recruitment, where basically Ashley flagged it as a, you know, something that people look for, and it's completely true. So I added that in. Your personal brand. So this is so important. So when we talk about how you can grow your business, career, or sales, or whichever, the more people kind of buy into who you are, what you're about, your ethics, your approach to stuff, it's really important. And a lot of people have never really put conscious thought into their personal brand. So we kind of run through this. What is it? How do we do it? How do you control all the different elements of your brand? That kind of thing. We'll go through this. Again, how do we demonstrate what makes you special and actually build that into your promotion and stuff? Next, we go on to, there's 3 modules on business strategy. So this is the one thing which I think in many ways is the USP of the course, because most people will teach you how to do marketing, they'll teach you how to sell, but the big fundamental thing that I'm always really hot on is that unless the fundamental offer of your business is as good as it can be and better than the competition, you're going to struggle. So actually we really kind of put focus on this. So how to time your launch, how to position your company, how to win for the customers, how to diversify and enter new sectors without overstretching. This is a new one, which again was inspired by some of the guys, which is to do with how, if you have a seasonal business. So Simon, if you're still watching, if you remember back from the days when we were doing the coach company stuff, you were really busy in the summer, but less so in the winter. And we went through this kind of exercise. I've now built that into the course for basically how to be busy year round. And then likewise with some of the other businesses that I work with, if they have lumpy revenue where basically a lot of your revenue comes from short, you know, periods of time, how do we help flatten that out to really help your business be a success? But actually what I wanted to do is kind of build this into the course, then likewise make it 3-4 paragraphs. And that's a really big thing that I'm not trying to swamp people with information. Module 5, we go into more information on sales and strategy and competitors and that kind of thing. Risks. This was really interesting because I ran through the course as myself, and hence I really updated some of the T's and C's and the references and stuff as well. Module 6, sorry, I'm just kind of skipping through. But the point is I just want you to see 100% transparent what's involved, what we do, what we don't do, that kind of thing. So investment now is a new section in the course. You've probably seen that from version 1 to what I'm kind of presenting today, it's a big step up, but likewise it was quite expensive. But in doing that process, what we're trying to do is increase the multiple of, you know, our effort. So you have a lot of entrepreneurs who put time and effort into a business, But actually, if you're able to invest or reinvest back in, you can grow your scalability, you can increase your customer reach, and there's so much stuff that you can do with investment. And that doesn't have to be outside investment, it can be just putting money back into the business. Today is almost in some ways an epitome of that. But the point is, it wasn't a really important part of the course that I wanted to kind of talk about and walk you through. It's especially to someone that's new to it. And then likewise, in the course of all the streams and sessions, if it doesn't work, I'll tell you. If it does work, I'll tell you. And it's that kind of process that I wanted to kind of go through. Building your own growth strategy, I'm going to skip through. I think marketing is pretty much the same. But what's interesting is actually I'm going to go through to the sales. So this is basically how you brand the company, how you understand the customer, and really build that into everything we do to help you be kind of more successful. Katharine, if you're still watching, I changed the whole last part of the book just for you, because actually you made a really good point to do with actually, it was when we spoke, I'm going to skip past module 8, sorry. So Katharine, in the bottom right hand side of the screen, when we were on the classroom session and we were talking through the sales concepts, and actually there was some really, really good stuff that we talked about. But what was quite interesting is that your business and a lot of people's businesses has an element of both B2B, if you resell to a distributor, and B2C in terms of if you sell directly to a customer. And what was really interesting, it was from your conversation, it was actually not all the techniques are applicable to everyone. So now what I've done in say, modules 9 to 11 is really put the new star to explain to people this is B2B or this is B2C and why that's important. But basically you inspired that change, which is quite cool. But the point is, it's this iteration on trying to get better. And then likewise, as we run through version 2 and all the stuff, hopefully it'll get better and that kind of thing as well. I appreciate the comments. I can see them, but it got too complicated on the slide if I put them on as well. So it's I'll come back to them. What else do we have? So yes, you'll see all the little stars where basically I wanted to include all the different things. Sales presentation, there's some new graphics as well, just to help articulate different concepts to really help the theme of your sales pitches and stuff stay on track. So that's some of the new stuff. And it's funny because I did this start to finish and I did all the implementation. You kind of get to know it inside out because as you can see, it's now 252 pages, but actually it's all hopefully really kind of good stuff which can help you. So yeah, then we go through sales objections and how actually to overcome any resistance from customers to basically help you kind of sell more. But then as we kind of go through, leadership and management is a really important thing, that actually how a lot of people as they progress through their careers, and I work with them on different kind of levels, you start your career, you get good at something, you could be an engineer, and you run through your business learning how to do stuff. You could be an accountant, you could be a lawyer, it could be anything. But at a certain point, you get asked to start to manage people, and it's not, you can be taught how to do it, but often it's really expensive. You have to take time out of the business, and often it's your personal experience is the best kind of thing. So what I wanted to do, I think there's 37 pages, but it's all the best techniques from people around the world, stuff that I do implement myself. But actually, hopefully it's about just giving you a helping hand to help run or manage or grow your first kind of business. But then looking and just having awareness on what the best techniques are to get a handle on things like costs and control and management in a way that it can be very difficult to learn. Managing cash, what to do when you're losing money, and basically really how to help grow and run a lean and efficient business to help you basically be successful. That's the whole point of everything we're trying to do. So there's 2 new modules at the end of the course, both super important to me, and actually both will be facilitated with external speakers on different topics. The first one is in mental health, that when I was going through the course and talking to different people, I was very conscious that actually there's a lot of things that come up in people's day-to-day lives that nobody ever talks about. Simon, again, inspired part of this. But what I wanted to do was put my own spin on it to really help explain that either in your business or career, this is normal. I go through it, a lot of people go through it. But the big thing is actually looking at techniques that I think can help you manage that process. So by no means will I, profess to be an expert on mental health, and I will get speakers and guests on who will present and talk about mental health as part of the kind of, guest presenters and podcasts. But it was my own techniques about how to manage it over time. And this was really important to me, that essentially when you are in business or your career, anyone can work super, super hard for like 2-3 weeks, but your performance degrades so fast that it's not sustainable. So what we're trying to do is find out and share techniques which I use to help you be able to maintain a very high level of performance for a long time. And it's just ways that I find, work for me. And the whole point is it's just to help people kind of go through that. But one of the other sections which is new that I wanted to add in, remembering back to my podcast with Paul Blake from Newcastle Eagles, but it came up again and again with different people, is that it's basic financial intelligence. For the more you understand about business finances, what are they, what is a profit and loss, what is a balance sheet, and really understanding that. This is also massively beneficial for anyone in their career. It'll just help you, give you confidence that when you start to go to board meetings or you're asked to manage a profit and loss or whichever, because that's a big jump from management into kind of director level. What I wanted to do was really trying to explain it, keep it simple. So actually there's a double page spread on all the main kind of concepts. It's only 10 pages, but the point is I genuinely think that this is enough to really help most people reach that level where they're comfortable, they're confident to kind of work with different people. So there is a new section on financial intelligence. So you've got profit loss, balance sheets, management accounts, what are they, why they're good to keep, but then likewise acknowledging that for a lot of SMEs and smaller businesses, you don't need to, it's, you're not big enough. But the point is, if you ever grow the business to a point where you are, you kind of know what they are, which is quite cool. Cash flow statements. Cash is easily the most important thing in your business and how you manage stuff that comes in and out of the business. But that's really important. I just wanted to add that into the course to help give people confidence in certain areas that can be quite difficult to learn, but likewise just making it super simple, or at least as simple as I could. And a friend, Chris Simpson, really helped me out with that, but also so did Fina Watson. So I used to work with Chris when I was at Techmar. He was financial controller, and we went through it together and he checked it, and I know it's good stuff, but the point is it's just contributions that I'm genuinely kind of thankful for. Advanced techniques. This is how all the different parts of the course kind of come together. And one of the things you'll really see is that the whole point of the roadmap, it takes the best from lots of different areas and brings it together. So module 16 kind of just brings that back and plays it together. And then as we start to kind of round up, it's one-page worksheets, how to grow a business, how to take control. Basically, if you are a new CEO or MD and you get that job for the first time, it's very difficult to actually know, or at least have a guide on what to do, because nobody's going to teach you, because the whole point is you're now at the kind of top of the tree, that's your guiding kind of light and strategy. So what I wanted to do was almost put it down in a way that these are techniques that I've used and other people have used, just to help give you a steer of things to consider before you kind of put your own kind of slant on it. On this one, 7 steps to grow a business. These are world-proven techniques on if you want to grow and turn around a business, get a team engaged and really try, drive high performance. This one-page or double-page spread is really kind of for you, and I promise it's really kind of good stuff. You've got the CEO checklist, engaging a team, listening to them. You have the optional MBA project. So this is completely optional, completely up to you. But basically you can get a certificate from CPD, which is up to, it's 40 hours of continued professional development. It could be for your CV, it could be for whatever you wish. But the point is, there is a mechanism to kind of check your learning and just make sure you're on track. And, it's a free kind of part of the course for anyone that goes through it. Next, as we start to wrap up, and I purposely put these at the end because it's not applicable to everyone. A lot of people now, massive growth in tech and basically external funding, that a lot of people present and they will have a slide deck, and I'm actually helping a company who want to float on the stock market at the moment, and we were working on their kind of investor slide deck, and I just wanted to break it down in 15 slides, the key stuff to consider, that actually I want you to be successful, I want you to do a good job, to really kind of walk you through it. And again, we'll do a session on this as well. How to plan for an exit. I do this with different companies where basically you have owners that want at some point to exit and realize their value. So, excuse me, it's the process to go through, the steps to consider, and basically how can we do it in order to maximize the value of your business. Things that people look for, things to put in advance. And again, the whole point is that if your business is your life's kind of work, what are ways and things that we can do to kind of maximize that? A little message from me, a little recap at the end. Again, I want people confident going into the world. And then last but not least, the buy one, gift one, that for every course that someone buys, we gift one, at least one, to people around the world that would benefit from extra business education. It's not just the textbook. It's not just this, although I'm quite proud of it and I think it's good, it's the fact that it's all the classroom sessions. It's everything to get involved and really help you kind of make that next step. And everyone who gets a free course via the guest list gets access to everything the same as a paid kind of member as well. I don't want people to be disadvantaged by any shape or means or whichever. And again, it's trying to make things accessible so that even if you have the desire to launch your own business or grow or whichever, but maybe not the financial means at the moment to pay for it, that shouldn't hold you back. I want you to be able to get in touch and still benefit from what everyone else does as well. So that's the back cover. I'm going to jump back to me. Where are we at? There we go. See, it's difficult when you do all this yourself. I have a keyboard with all these hotkeys, but I appreciate everyone's comments. I'm just trying to read the book. Hi Simon, yes, it looks great full screen. I appreciate that. It was when you present these things and you do the streams and whatever, I kind of knew it was a problem, but I just wanted a way to be able to, you know, give people more, basically just make it better, which is quite cool. Hi Denise, I'm trying to catch up on the certificates and stuff. Hi Matt. Cool, I think that's about it. I think I've kind of gone through everything I've done. I've talked about the setup, the new classroom setup. I've talked about the improvements of the streams, the stream quality. One of the big ones is for me, the ability to have new guest presenters. This, at some point you'll see them where basically they'll talk about key topics which I hope are interesting to you or the audience. And again, that's just a really big thing for me. Whole new textbook, whole new course, it's improved content, much more sustainable kind of materials and shipping, and it's better. What else have we got? There will be a new website coming as well at some point, but I've only just pressed go on that one because it's really expensive. And then likewise, I also want to have an app. And the reason for the app is that part of the new website, which will have all the new content on, it's push notifications. So that when people are inherently busy and they're running their businesses and doing their lives and whatever, often even if you've got a brilliant website with all the content on, people don't have time to check it or they don't think to check it. So the whole point of spending tens and tens of thousands of pounds on an app is just to have a nudge notifications to basically say to people, that classroom session that you wanted to join, it's happening in 10 minutes if you want to join. And it's that kind of just little interaction I think has great kind of value. And again, we do all the classroom sessions on Zoom. I might switch to Google for a reason in the future to do with the language translation and that kind of thing, which you can do live now as well. But the whole point is I don't want there to be any barriers to anyone that wants to progress their business or career. So I really appreciate everyone's time today. I'm going to finish on my, I say posh video. So it's my kind of salesy type video, which I have as the main header on my kind of website. But again, what I wanted to do is, because I'm trying to build a genuinely kind of international business, I wanted basically an American voiceover, but someone that, again, it won't always be the Steve Pugh show. At some point, I will have different presenters in different languages, men, women, whichever. But the whole point is this is just version 2. And then at some point, hopefully there'll be a version 3. And it's trying to just learn and improve. But I genuinely appreciate everyone's time. You know, it's a learning curve for me as much as everyone else. So I'm going to finish on the video, but thank you for your time and please kind of stay in touch. All right, cheers guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do you dream about launching your own business? Are you working hard in your career but don't feel you have the skills to reach the next level? Do you need something which works around your busy schedule? We're here to tell you that you can have it all. Find out more about the Roadmap Alternative MBA at www.roadmapmba.com, including free worldwide shipping and our 30-day full money-back guarantee. We care about equal access to education. We care about building a better world. Our mission is making business education accessible. Join us.